Hamnet might be the most emotionally devastating movie of 2025. Um, yeah, man, it's one of those movies where it it really makes you just reflect on life, love, art, expression, why you create art, why we're even here in this world, like family, um, just inspiration. It's truly, truly, truly beautiful film. Um, yeah, so welcome to Flick Filter. I'm Coach. We're doing another solo review today. Um, the weatherman, um, Diesel, he'll be back very soon. But yeah, we're here to talk about Hamnet. It is the new film by director Chloe Zhao, um, acclaimed director. She won the Oscar for Nomadland Best Picture a few years ago. She also directed The Eternals, which to me, I know, crazy hot take, underrated MCU movie. Um, One of the best looking MCU movies. Um, to me, looking back at it, it probably should have been like a 8 to 10 episode mini series, like limited series, just because of the characters. Um, I felt like it was a very long story, and I felt like it could have gone even deeper. But I think just that's how the story would have been better as a mini series. But we are here to talk about Hamnet. It is Chloe Zhao's latest feature film. Um, and yeah, it's essentially about what inspired Shakespeare's uh, timeless, most famous masterpiece, Hamlet. Um, Shakespeare, he falls in love with a woman, Agnes. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. She is played by Jessie Buckley, and um, from just the time they meet, they form this, this great love connection, and neither of them are wealthy. William, he's a writer, of course, um, but they fall in love, and she gets pregnant. Um, they get married, and they have children. Um, and one of them is named Hamnet. They have an older daughter, and then they have two younger children, a boy and a girl. So uh, two girls, one boy. And honestly, all of everyone does a phenomenal acting job in this movie. Um, the biggest standout, of course, is Jessie Buckley. Um, I'm certain she's gonna win the Oscar for Best Actress. She's wow. It's like there's sometimes where you forget that a person's even acting. It's one of those type of movies. Of course she's acting, but it's like, man, for her to just give such a powerful performance. Um, it's one of those Oscar. It's not like, oh, it's the greatest performance I've ever seen, but it's just like it's one of those performances where like the Oscars love to reward that type of role. It's like a classical role that somebody would win for. Um, but she does do a great job. I just wanted to say that. But the other standouts were the children in this movie. Um, Jacoby Jupe, he plays Hamnet. Um, Bodhi Ray Wraithnach plays Susanna, and Olivia Lynes plays Judith. All of them do a great job, but it's just like wow, they really feel like they're a family in this. And it's one of those movies where if any performance is weak, it can kind of take you out of the film. So just shout out to all the actors involved. Yeah, just yeah, it's just a really special movie about like grief, loss. Um, I'm gonna get into spoiler territory in a minute, um, but um, yeah, so I'll just go ahead. So Shakespeare, he's doing the best that he can, as a father. I'll just call him Will because that's what the people in his life they call him that. He goes back and forth um, from where they stay out on the more countryside or wherever they're at, small town. And Will, he goes to London because that's where he's writing these plays, people performing them. That's how he's making his living. So for a while, he's spending a lot of time away from his family, and he's missing out a lot as far as them growing up. Um, when he's home, he's very present with them. He's very loving towards them, towards his wife and his kids. But then he has to go back to he's got to go back to work. So um, there's a point in the movie where um, one of the children, she gets sick. Um, I believe it is Judith. She gets sick, very very sick, and it's to the point where um, they don't think she can be saved. And to add some context to uh, to the character of Agnes, Jessie Buckley's character, she like her mom was considered a witch. Like for all intents and purposes, like people say that her mom was a witch, and so she has these practices that were passed down to her. So she learns these things from her mom, these different practices, and she's in the forest a lot, and so she has all these home remedies that she gives to her daughter to try to make her better. And she even says that two children will be by her deathbed, her own deathbed when she dies, and so she's giving her daughter these remedies to make her better, and nothing is happening. And so Hamnet, and this is really key. I remember Hamlet tells, excuse me, Will, he's telling his son, his one son, Hamnet, take care of your mom and your sisters while I'm gone. So he's feeling like the man in the house because he's the only, even though he's young, but he's trying to take care of the house. So, and he really, really loves his sister. That's the thing. So when the sister wakes up super, super sick, he's trying to do what he can do to take care of her. And as man, I'm really spoiling this movie. So if y'all haven't seen it, stop this and come back. So yeah, she's getting really sick. The mom's doing the best that she can to get her to be well, but it's just she's not getting better. So night comes and she's laying down, and Hamlet's like, "Hey, I'm gonna trick, whatever is trying to take you out." It's like he's trying to confuse that thing, that spirit or whatever, that the spirit of I can't say the word, but um, so in the night after like they wake up, everybody wakes up. Susanna, or no, Judith is okay, but Hamnet isn't. And man, this is such an ugly scene at this point. Like when it takes him out, it's like, ooh, it's ugly. And the saddest part is Will is still gone. Like, so he's not even there to, say bye to his son, um, or to even be there for his son in those last moments. Um, it's just really heart wrenching. Um, it's weird because I've heard some people say that the movie is like emotionally manipulative, and I wouldn't say that. Like all movies, now movies can be emotionally manipulative, definitely, but this was just a movie that was very emotional and had tragedy, just like many films. They have tragic moments, um, such as life. So yeah, didn't really get that point, but overall, um, so from this point on, it's like yes, this is the low point. They've had a tragic moment in this family, and it's like one of those things you can't go back from losing a child. Um, and there's some resentment from of Anya's towards Will because like you weren't there. From his point of view, he's just trying to provide for his family, but again, he wasn't there to be for his family when they needed him the most, and that's something that really hits hard because it's like I think as men, of course, men are expected to be providers, and men are there's a lot of weight that goes on a man's shoulders. Like you have to be a emotional provider. You have to be you have to provide physically, um, spiritually, in so many ways, and then it's like you can still fall short in tremendous ways. But after this tragic event, Will ultimately he goes and he comes out with Hamlet. And what's such a beautiful thing is the fact that like his wife didn't even know he was creating this. Like I think he normally made comedies at this point, like up until this point, but then Ines is surprised to learn that this is a tragedy, and so she actually goes to see the play, and it's just this really, really powerful moment. Um, Super powerful. I'm basically just telling y'all the movie, um, but it's one of those things where you really just need to go see it for yourself. Um, it's like it's super cathartic. It's like you feel the character's catharsis by seeing like a representation of her own loss on stage, and it's done in such a tasteful way. It's like to some people, it's like wow, it's like watching your own tragedy on screen or on out on display. It can feel very triggering for people, but it's not a one to one thing. But it's not a one to one thing for her own situation, but it's clearly inspired by their own life. Um, and I just think as artists, especially in that the times that we live in, um, it's important to create art that is meaningful. It's important to create art that is personal. It is important to create art that is reflective of your life and the lives of people around you, and art that is reflective of what's going on in the world. Um, yeah, so the movie itself isn't very political, but I think there's even a political, like, in times of a lot of times with uh, just a lot of political turmoil, like, there's going to be things that are going to fuel artists to create out of, their own discontentment with the world, with society, um, with the mistreatment of other people, and it's important to continue to create. Um, so yeah, despite tragic events, despite um, just the world that we live in, the way it looks, it's important to remember um, the importance of art. Uh, I didn't even give this movie a rating yet. I would give it 4 stars. Um, it could be higher. Uh, or yeah, I think 4 stars is appropriate, um, for sure. Yeah, 4 stars. But yeah, post your comments below. What do you think about Hamnet? Um, Shout out to all the Oscar nominations it received. I definitely think it's gonna win best actress as far as Jessie Buckley. I can't remember um, all the other awards it received, but uh, yeah, it's done well so far. So shout out to Hamnet, and shout out to Chloe Zhao. Um, I wish it received 8 nominations. That's a best picture, best directing, best actress, of course, adapted screenplay. Oh yeah, because the book of course it's based off of the book Hamnet. Forgot to mention that. Original score, beautiful score, costume design, great costume design, production design, great costume design, and great casting. Oh man, casting was great as well. Yes, so shout out to Hamnet. Um, and shout out to movies. Go see these movies in theaters. I feel like that's a good movie to catch in the theaters, man. All right, y'all.